Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, you're welcome to like, subscribe, share, and comment. So today, do you wanna guess what we're gonna talk about? Miracles, 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 miracles. So today's video is inspired by the song Little Miracle. So before it's Little Million Miracles. Is it Little Million Miracles? Oh, so yeah, Little Miracles by Elevation Worship featuring Maverick City. So yeah, Little Miracles. So guys, most of you, as you know, I'm a firm believer of Christ, and I'm a spiritual person. I don't like to say I am religious because I'm not. I consider myself very spiritual and very respectful to people's religions and stuff like that, but I'm not religious myself, but I am very spiritual. So today's video is just motivation. If you've been going through stuff, today is your day. Like, just take a notebook if you want, take a notepad, take notes if you want, or make yourself some tea and relax and get a breather, refresh, and listen. Right. And it's also inspired by a post I posted on Facebook, and somebody was like to me, maybe you should actually talk about this on your channel so that other people watch and they get to actually see that this really happened and this is how you dealt with it. So guys, like, the past 2 years of my life been like horrible, and I even feel so bad saying this because I mean, if anything God has done for me, He's carried me. Like, I'm carried by grace. You know, even my Insta name is YV Graceful because I'm carried by grace. My life is a life of grace. My testimony is a testimony of grace. There's things that I've gotten in my life, things I didn't deserve, but because of the grace of God that is upon my life, I've gotten them. Like, even today, guys, like, I also got grace, you know, like, so I went to the gym. I'm gonna start fitness journey. Went to the gym, and I was supposed to pay a certain fee, membership fee, and stuff like that because of grace. I only paid the monthly amount. How graceful is that? Anyway, that's besides the point. So, like I said, the past 2 years of my life have been sort of like horrible. They haven't been so desirable, right? And people would consistently ask you, how do you stay positive? Why are you always happy? How do you do this? Firstly, guys, I have my days. I'm not always happy. Like, even right now, I'm like, you can see that I'm glowing and all of that, but I'm stressed out. Like, exam season is upon us and there's just so much going on. But I'm not a person to carry my problems around. You know, I don't carry my problems on my shoulders. You know, I always remind myself that I'm not in control of my life. So even if I suck, even if I go around with a long face, even if I decide, okay, fine, I'm throwing tantrums, it's not going to change because I'm not in control. I can only obey. I can only listen to what God wants me to do and follow to where He wants me to go. So the past 2 years, I graduated, I got a job, I got a healing, my brother got a healing, and you know, all of these things that I'm mentioning, these are testimonies, right? But before I could get a job, I was unemployed. There was a storm. Storm was unemployment, right? Though it wasn't for long, it was like a month or so. But storm was unemployment, right? And then before I got a healing, limping and wounds that were not healed was the storm. And before I got graduated, academics was the storm, because you guys know, right, that academics can really, really get lead. So I'm just going to give you like a brief of every single step and what I learned from it, and also what you can take from it and how I came out stronger from it, right? So basically, firstly, I'm a graduate. Like, right, I'm a graduate, that's the testimony. But before I graduate, I was a student. I'm still a student, right? A second-time student, post-grad student, right? I was a student. I had times where my studies, like, they were not happening. You know, academics can do the most, guys. You can hear us speaking proper English and doing the most in the streets, and you see us posting videos and all of that, and you think these ones, they're getting A's, and that time it's actually very lead for us, you know. So academics were fire, but with me, I've never really like had so much stress in terms like of marks or whatever the case may be, because I've always been a person to believe that the work you put in will always say for itself. So if you're not going to put in more work, you might not get as good marks, you know. So I told myself that. And then, okay, fine, everything is going well with my studies. I'm pushing. I'm in my final year. This is 2019, guys. Okay, I've shared the story before in one of my videos. I get banned, right? So when I get banned way on my legs, guys. You use your legs to move. So if your legs are not like they're not able to move without difficulty, then it's a problem, especially if you're used to being flexible or mobile, whatever the case may be. Now I'm bent. I can't walk. It's exam season. What do I do? All I have is prayer. All I have is hope. All I have is faith. That's all. I don't have any other thing because my doctor's out here telling me that this is bad. You might not be able to ever walk again properly. You know, my doctor's saying that because I mean, sometimes I have no choice than to tell us the truth. And I'm out here forcing myself. I'm out here forced walking because I'm like, I can't afford to not walk for the rest of my life. Okay, but that's another conversation. But before me, these are my final exams. I'm in my final year. I'm on the last push. There is no way I cannot not write my exams. I push my way through. Sometimes I would wake up, cry because of the pain on my legs. Even when I'm walking, you know when you cry but no tears are coming out? I went through that. But I would pray. I remember like Mali used to come see me a lot. She'll bring me food because I couldn't even go cook, guys. Bring me food. She would pray for me and stuff like that. We would pray together. And like, guys, prayer works also. And your faith. And I pulled through. I pushed through my exams, right? And while I at it, I'm suffering from my legs not being able to walk without pain. Like, without actually not just pain, but severe pain, right? My brother gets admitted. That time he's like 3 years old. He goes into ICU. A 3-year-old boy. In my head, like I lost my head. It was insane. In my head, I'm like, is my boy gonna make it? But God, why would you do something like that? Why would you make me witness and experience this kind of love that I have for him and the hopes that I have for him and the prayers I've made for him, and then you want to take him out? Like just like that. And mind you, my little brother's a twin, so you can imagine he was hospitalized, he was in ICU. So it meant also my little sister wasn't coping, and it was like insane because she was just so unhappy and stuff like that. And at some point when he was healing and when he was getting better, he didn't want to see anyone but my little sister. You know, my little sister, they would take my little sister to the hospital. She would play with him, they would hug and stuff like that. And for me, like, their relationship was a depiction of God's love. And I was looking at it when he was in ICU. I'm like, God, I'm not even there. I'm 1,000 miles apart because he stays overseas. I'm 1,000 miles apart. I can't do anything. I can't even help my mother. I can't even go to the hospital. Nothing, guys. Zero. And that made me even cringe even more because I'm like, if my brother had to lose his life at this point in time, which means I would have only seen my little brother in physical form once. Like, this is it. You know, I was in so much pain and there was so much rage going on inside of me. I'm like, but God, why do I even have the capacity to carry all these burdens? To me, they were burdens. Little did I know that these were my little miracles. These were my little testimonies, you know, testimonies that I can't even keep count, you know, because there's so much. And then fast forward, I graduate, and I graduate with good marks. You know, my final marks were actually better than most of my marks. Okay, first year and second year I was doing the most. Third year it was tricky, but my final year marks were better than my third year marks because I mean, you know, I pushed in and I'm like, God, did I really do this? I did the most. Graduate on time, on record time, you know. And then after that, my little brother is healed. Even the doctors were impressed because they're like, wow, like he's a very strong young boy. Because I mean, who would have thought that he's going to heal within a couple of weeks? Because apparently if like the condition he had at that moment, right, apparently if it goes on for more than 2 weeks, you're likely to die, especially as a baby, you know. And then he healed. Like now he's like turning 5, he's healthy, he can count, he knows his numbers, he knows his colors, he knows the days of the week. Like, he's just a brilliant, smart boy, very kind, very sweet. Now he calls me, he video calls me, he tells me what his teacher taught him. How beautiful is that, guys? My little 1,000 miracles. Like, beautiful to watch, right? Okay, during the time I was sick, 2019, half of it, I was just not well, which means I missed, I had a vacation program to attend to at a law firm in, it's actually in Bloom, it's a free state, right? One of my friends is actually at that law firm now. I had work to attend to. I couldn't walk, couldn't do anything. At some point I had to attend interviews. Some of them I would be late because now I'm extremely slow. Some of them I couldn't just make it out. Like, you know what, it was just a mess. And here I am, I'm a graduate. I'm like, yay, but still I need a job, you know. Not that I didn't have a job, I was actually a tutor at the time. And even my students would be like, why are you still coming to work? Are you healing? You know, that kind of thing. And then life goes on, right? I had a job, was a tutor, but now I need a job within my profession. I'm an LLB graduate. I need to do my articles or need to do ABCD. I need like a proper job, you know? And then I'm looking for a job. Job, where are you? You know? I'm like, you know what, let me just enroll for my master's in banking law. Then I have 2 years to look for a job because I trusted God enough to say within 2 years I would get a job. I know in our profession, in our industry, it gets really worse. You can stay 5 years without a job, but I'd say, God, I'm like, the deal is I'm giving you 2 years. That's the time that I have to find a job, right? And then, okay, go into my master's. That time, no money for fees. Fees doesn't come cheap. You know, my mother has paid for my registration fee. She has, finished paying off some of my fees from LLB because NESFA, something didn't go well. So she had to pay for that, right? Now, master's doesn't come cheap, right? And it's not easy to get master's bursaries, especially if you didn't apply the year before. Now I'm like, I've enrolled, but you know, there's something that haunts you if you owe somebody, you know. For me, it's worse, even if it's an institution, but you know, it follows you like, oh my God, I owe this person and all of that. And I was like, I owe the institution. I'm not going to be able to see my marks. And I was just so stressed out, you know, but guess what? I'm here. This is my second year of my master's and my fees are paid up. They sort of up to date. I'm only owing fees for this year. And I know by the end of the year, by God's grace, they'll be paid off, all of them, you know. Okay, going into my master's, everything is going well and stuff like that. But can I find a job? No. I'm busy applying and I'm attending interviews here and there. And then my dad is submitting some of my CVs, hand submissions and stuff like that. But jobs are not happening. And then Corona hits. Oh no, I attended my interview in February. I attended an interview at Rams Incorporated, beautiful law firm. I work there, by the way. Beautiful law firm and everything. February I attend. Around about the 14th, it was Valentine's Day, guys. You received bad news. Imagine, get a call, we loved you, you're amazing, but we can't take you now. Let's what, we're gonna expand and then we're gonna call you around April. This is before coronavirus, right? And in my head, when they said that, I was shattered. I was like, no person can call you back. This is them saying we didn't like you, but they're saying it in a very polite way, right? This is me, this is what I thought, but God had something really special for me in store. Okay, great. I move on. I'm like, okay, I took my L, keep on applying. Then I get VEC work in Cape Town, guys. And when do I get this VEC work? During the pandemic. So when the pandemic happens, I just concluded that even if Rams wanted to call me, how are they going to call me during a pandemic? People are retrenching people and stuff like that. I didn't think they would call me, you know, considering also it's a relatively small firm, you know, like we're still growing and stuff like that. So I'm like, this ones, they won't call me. But God was like, wait on me. And there's that other song by Maverick, City and Elevation Worship. It says, they that wait on the Lord, their strength shall be renewed. I have tested your goodness and I trust on your promise. I've tested the goodness of God, guys. Fast forward. Pandemic hits. I'm stressed out thinking I'm not going to get a job. And at that time, I'm even so anxious because my mom works for the health sector overseas and she works for like the old age, you know. So I'm like, now I'm always stressed. I'm like, what if my mom catches corona and she doesn't heal and we have babies and stuff like that? You know, I'm always stressed about those things. But God is like, wait, this is, you know, I'm a very big God. I'm above every circumstance. Any storm I give you is for a testimony. Guys, bear that in mind. Any storm in your life, I don't care where you are, which season you are in. And I'm not just saying this, right? If you're going through the most, just be expectant. As much as that thing might be like draining you, it might be crushing you, whatever the case may be. Before juice becomes juice, it goes through crushing. Before gold becomes gold, it goes through processing. So let the process take place, because once God is done with you, or once life troubles are done with you, testimonies that are going to be exceedingly and abundantly. Okay, guys, Corona hits. I'm busy applying for jobs. I get back work. Where do I get back work? In Cape Town. Guys, I love Cape Town. And the moment I get back work in Cape Town, I arrange to go to Cape Town. My mom books accommodation for me. Everything is set. We're ready to go to Cape Town, right? Everything is set. We're ready to go to Cape Town. It's time. Fine, I go to Cape Town. Get there. I get the job. Right. I'm so excited. I'm like, this is the job and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, this has been my dream, to live close to the city, to live close to the sea. You know, people that know me, they know I love the sea. Like, everyone is congratulating me. Finally, you've got a new dream job and stuff like that. And then they're like, you can start in September. You know, I'm like, no, I can't start in September because where I'm from, Joburg, I need to go back home, get my things in order. You know, I'm excited. And then come back home, guys. Get home. Like, I dragged to sign my employment contract with the firm in Cape Town. But I have the job, everything is secured, but I'm dragging to sign. I don't know why I'm dragging. Then the day I was supposed to sign my contract, I get an email from another firm, better pay, Joburg and stuff, and I enjoyed the interview. The interview was so beautiful. They're like, hey man, we've given you the job. You start when? In March. I'm like, ooh, you know what? I'm like, okay, maybe in my heart, guys, you know my first love is Rams, right? I'm out here thinking about, you know, in relationships, when you want someone and then another person asks you out, you like them, but you're like still thinking about the other guy or the other girl. So I'm busy thinking about Rams, but I'm like, you know what, let me take my L and move, you know? Take my L, go into the firm, accept the contract, sign fast, reject Cape Town. A person who was unemployed, guys, a person who was struggling to get articles, now is rejecting contracts. I'm writing letters to apologize to people for not being able to take their offers. How beautiful is that? Okay, life goes on, and then they say I start in March, and then I'm chilling in January. I'm like, yeah, I have 2 months to prep. God is like, you are not ready for what I'm doing with your life. They call me that, no, you don't have to start in March anymore. You can start when? In February and stuff like that. Okay, fine. The firm was that they needed me to have a valid driver's license, and which makes sense why I had to go to that firm first before I went to Rams, you know. And then, okay, cool. Go to that firm. February, start working. I start with my driving lessons because I'm pushing, you know, I'm pushing lessons. Get a date. My date is like on the 15th of April, I think. And then after that happens, I receive my message from my first love, guys. You know when you receive the message from the love of your life in your head, when you haven't really undergone the relationship process and stuff, like you lose your cool, like you just go crazy. I was so excited to get the text, and then, you know what, I don't even want to go into so much detail, but you know what, I get my offer from Rams, my love, my first love, you know. I'm in Pagati inside. That's another miracle. Beautiful, isn't it? Like, you know what, I always say this, there's a song that says you're a man of your word, right? God is a man of his word, right? And he's shown me, like, through Rams. Like, you know what, I have never experienced a point where, you know, these companies that say we'll call you, and they never call. That's them saying no. But for them to actually call me back after a whole year, like, for me, it was just so beautiful to watch. And it was really a beautiful testimony, right? Life goes on, I'm at Rams. Now I have the day I was starting at Rams, I go for my license. Do my thingy test, I pass, everything is lit. Now I'm thinking, I'm like, God, why did you have to get me to take the long route? Guys, if ever I didn't go to that other firm, I was not going to have a driver's license, because Rams doesn't have that particular requirement of driver's license. I was going to be like, oh no, I'll do it eventually. But at least during that month, I wasn't broke. I was able to sustain myself when I was at the other firm, and I was able to do my driving lessons, and I got my license, and beautiful to watch, guys. These are my little miracles. And like, if you don't get hope from this, guys, I don't know what else you want, because right now we're looking at a person who's supposedly not supposed to be walking or standing. But even when I'm doing this video, I'm standing, because I'm like, you know what, this is a beautiful testimony for me. I was supposed to be in a wheelchair. I was supposed to be walking in crutches and stuff like that. But by the grace of God, I didn't even have to attend physio. I just had to continue pushing myself, exercising here and there, and now I can walk. I don't even limp. The only way you can tell I was in a horrible accident is through the scars that are a constant reminder that God's grace has carried me, or His mercy carried me. You know, I always say there's a story, the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the story of the fire and stuff like that. I always say that like my life is a depiction of that story. The fourth man was with me when that fire happened, and I could have died, but I didn't die, you know. And these are just, I can't even keep count. Every morning I wake up, I'm like, God, do you really see me deserving? You see my heart. I ask for stuff, you do them. Like, do I deserve this much love, you know? So guys, bambelela enkosini, you know, let your hope carry you, let your faith carry you, let the grace of God carry you. Sometimes things are not going to go your way. Sometimes things are really going to be bad, you know, but you're going to have to pull yourself together. You're going to have to remind yourself whomst you are, you know, because at the end of the day, in every storm, like I say, in every storm, whenever you see a stormy season, when you see a time of confusion or a time of whatever, whenever you get confused, just be expectant of clarity eventually. Whenever you get a bit sick, you know, or you get sick, just always be expectant of healing, because healing must come after sickness. A testimony doesn't come after, a testimony doesn't come before chaos. For a testimony to happen, there must be some sort of chaos. You don't need an anchor if there's no storm, if the waves are not too much. So for you to be anchored by God, for you to be carried by God, sometimes you just have to go through stuff, you know. And from me to you, it's love, it's light, it's kindness. Always be reminded that God loves you, you know. Always be reminded that He would choose you any day. And always be reminded that He didn't die for me, He died particularly for you, you know, as an individual. It was never a thing of, oh, let me do them a favor, just, you know, but it was a thing of saying, Yvonne, I'm dying for you, I'm doing this for you. It was a thing of saying, Mbali, I'm dying for you, I'm doing this for you. It was a thing of saying, Tabi saying, I'm dying and I'm doing this for you. So always be reminded by the love of God. And more than anything, always be reminded nothing in this world can separate you from the love of God. Don't let people that are bullies bully you, you know, because I know there's people that will bully you, people that will talk badly about you, people that will convince you that God loves you less because you did A, B, C, D and stuff like that. Don't let those people faze you. You are God's masterpiece. You are God's, like, you're perfectly made in God's image. And because of that, He would do anything to see you happy. You know, cherish every miracle. You are under a roof, that's a miracle. You are having food, that's a miracle. You are breathing, that's a miracle. You get to experience love, that's a miracle. You get to experience kindness, that's a miracle. Those are I can't even count million little miracles. Like my million little miracles, I can't count them. I've lost count. But today I thought I should share those little ones, and just remind you that everyone goes through stuff. We all have seasons where we are down and out, but what's important is that you don't stay down there, you rise, because at the end of the day, you've been given a purpose that only you can walk on. So if you give up on your purpose, who must complete the piece of the puzzle? Because I can be a great speaker, or I can be, but if God said, when I is you're going to be this particular speaker, even if I speak greatly, even if I win thousands, as long as you haven't fulfilled your purpose, they still avoid, you know. So we were all tailor-made, tailor-created for our certain purposes. No one can ever fulfill your purpose. You know, even if you can decide, I'm slacking, I'm being lazy, I'm not going to show up, I'm not going to respect myself enough, I'm not going to do this, your purpose you will have to fulfill. No one will ever do it for you. So from me to you, it's love, it's kindness, it's be bold, be confident, be love, be everything you can ever be. And always remember, now is all you have. And now is all you have to show people love, to show people kindness. And now is all you have to be the best version of yourself. If you can't be that, then I don't know what else you want to be, because that's the best thing you can ever be just being yourself, you know. So guys, you're welcome to like, subscribe, share, and comment and engage. Tell me what you think. Tell me about your million little miracles. Let's share, let's be merry, let's be loud. Thank you.